Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, we're going to be talking about the brand new Incarnon secondary that came with the Dante Unbound update, the Onos. This is a secondary Incarnon weapon that by default shoots a little, pistol beam laser out of your hand, so it's a hand cannon essentially. And then it turns into an Incarnon mode, which makes it a beam laser weapon that charges up into a big laser beam explosion. Kind of like a couple of the energy weapons you've seen in Warframe before. It charges the shot and then does the shot, but it does some damage while you charge the shot, just not a whole lot of damage. So you're essentially going and looking for the strong enemy to shoot with the fully charged shot. But overall, it is a good weapon. You can see it in the background there. I would say overall, it can be a little annoying to use at lower levels if you're in publics, because there's just better options to nuke things, and you're probably not going to get a lot of headshots, but it works pretty well in Steel Path. You can definitely have a lot of CC frames take very good advantage of this Onos, and I think probably later on, when I showcase the weapon live, I'll use Vauban to see how good it is with CC. But it seems like a really strong weapon that works well if you can choose a CC Warframe to bring everyone together and just absolutely destroy them, because the beam on, the charge shot does have a small AoE radius and it does a lot of damage. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I like it, but I don't think it's going to be my go-to secondary weapon or anything, but I'm always damn happy when there's a new Incarnon weapon. Of course, since this came with the Dante Unbound update, it is in the new Albric Entrati Dante area, and you need to run the new disruption mission on the Albric Entrati Labs node on Deimos, right? It's all connected, so you have to run the new disruption mission in order to get this, and then if you run enough disruption mission, the Onos drops as a B drop rotation on the disruption mission, okay? A B drop rotation. There's A, there's B, and that's what this is, and then there's C. So you have to do the first round and then leave probably, because people are going to be going for Dante on C drop rotation, or you can just continually farm C drop rotation on the disruption, get the vessel capillaries, and then spend all of that at the Loid shop and buy the Onos, and then build it in your foundry. And the Onos and a lot of other things require a lot of Entrati Lanthorns to make, but you get a lot of Entrati Lanthorns killing Gruslings, running the Albric Entrati Lab area in general, or going to the Zeramin, so hope that helps. Now, if we look at the weapon in-game, we'll go over my build and just take a look at it in general, so hopefully you like that little showcase with Revenant. So if we look at the base stats, it's overall decent enough, 1.75 fire rate right now, no multi-shot, small magazine, but whatever. Decent enough crit, pretty good, but crit multiplier of 2.4, I think that's good, I like it. 22% status, so decent enough overall. Default's puncture, yeah, okay, that's nice, with 220, so nothing really high. And it has an Incarnon form, Mac charges 3, has high punch through, has no multi-shot, and 2.5 fire rate by default. And this is the charged attack for it. Okay, so it charges up. It's a really weak beam, as you can see, 30 damage. Oof, that sucks fat doink, if we're being honest. It has a small status, small crit chance, so this attack sucks. This attack just sucks. That's all there is to it. It's a bad attack. It's not supposed to, and it definitely won't do a lot of damage. And then you have the big attack here, which does 10 times the amount of the charge, right? So obviously this is the proper attack that you're building for more so. It has a slower fire rate, no multi-shot by default, punch through is 1. But as you can see, the crit chance, fucking insane comparatively. 38%, great. 3.2 crit multiplier, awesome. Status 26, that's better. Default attack 2200. Okay, so this is much better. But then you see the radial attack also has 1100 damage, range of 3, it's heat by default, 30% fall off. Right, this is the Onos. By default, it's a really good, really strong casual weapon, but it probably doesn't compare as much to something like the Loid Incarnon. But either way, it's still a really good, fun to use weapon in general. My config A is, I would say, a pretty basic, understandable config for a lot of pistols. You throw on your crit, you throw on your crit. You could also go with the 200% crit mod, but I don't like it because we have Prime Pistol Gambit. Throw on your some general damage with Hornet Strike, of course Galvanized Diffusion, Lethal Torrent mainly for the fire rate, but of course the multi-shot always adds damage and helps as well. It's not huge because we have Galvanized Diffusion, but it's nice, okay? Continuing on, we of course have a Pistol Pestilence, Toxic Status, we have Frostbite, and then that together makes Viral, but we also have Accelerated Isotope. This will increase our fire rate even further and add some radiation damage. I chose this over like adding another 7-1 or a stronger mod around here, like Primed Heated Charge or Primed Convulsion after I throw a form on. You can throw on whatever you want though. Let me know what you're trying to use. I'm always kind of curious, but this is my general one. Even like Stunning Speed could be okay because the reload speed on the base one's pretty slow, but this wouldn't add much damage, so I wouldn't really bother, right? Creeping Bullseye you can throw on, but I don't really care too much for that. Since I have more fire rate, it's not the worst idea, but not the best. Either way, this is my general build. The unique trait, Headshot, right, turns it into an Incarnon mode. Don't have anything on there. Maybe for the Exilis, I would have something like, I don't know, Ammo Maximum. There's not a ton of things that you really care to throw on, but hey, maybe Ammo Maximum. Movement speed while aiming, right? Not a lot of choice. You could just do Energizing Shot because you use a beam, so you might hit things anyways. So yeah, it's worth giving a shot at least, but I do like it. Definitely do like this weapon. If you see it with mods, you can see like the damage goes up, right? Not bad, the damage stats here. This is the basic just shot, so it's like a pistol pretty much, hand cannon. So it'll at least do some damage, 5,000, 5x crit with 74% crit chance. Wish it had higher crit, but hey. Incarnon form's also decent enough, fire rate goes up, right? But this is the beam, it might be weak, but it's still obviously gonna kill normal mode, no problem. It's just weak for Steel Path. And this is the upgraded beam, which absolutely slaps cheeks at 53,000 base and then 26,000 radial. And then, you know, viral heat, radiation, the radiation there. So heat will take advantage of Cascadia Flare, not Cascadia. Cascadia Flare right here. So all of that'll add up like 480, 220. So yeah, you'll get like damn near, yeah, 700% damage increase off these two mods. That's what they, I think, add up to, if my math is right. So that's pretty good. You don't even see the full breadth of the damage increase off this. So damage-wise, if you think about it, absolutely claps. It's insane. If we look at Incarnon, right, regular swap, regular one, Incarnons. The other one, you can do fire rate, you can do projectile speed, and you can do weapon recoil. I feel like fire rate is the only obvious one to take here. It's just DPS increase or not. I'll take the DPS increase. This one you can do anyone. On kill, 10% chance to replenish 10 ammo. Not great. You have a reload speed one. I'm actually gonna swap it to that. And then increase magazine capacity by plus 10. So I'll do reload speed. It's not really a big deal. This one's up to you, whatever you feel like using. There's no clear winner, but it's up to you. Yeah, you can get Incarnon headshots and then just use 5-10 shots and instantly Incarnon, or you could give it more capacity, increase reload. Yeah, I'll change it up for now. But I'm using, on this, headshots build 50% more Incarnon transmutation. You can take on kill, 2.5 punch through for 20 seconds. That'll be really good damage, so it's not bad at all. Or you could take plus 20% status chance and minus 10% critical chance. This is good if you want to make this bad boy a status primer. Put a bunch of status on it, give the enemy units super mega syphilades, and then they will just die. So good punch through. I'm taking headshots build more Incarnon because I don't like slow shooting like little pistols, but I think punch through is better for damage overall. So, you know, it's up to you. I'm also taking hitting enemies in Incarnon form increases critical chance and critical damage of the fully charged blast by 5%, stacks up to 50. I don't know if that means stacks up to 50% or stacks up to 50. So 50 times 5, which is 250% critical damage and critical chance. I'm actually not 100% sure on that one at all. I'm assuming it stacks up to 50%, but if it stacks up to 250%, then that's also fucking ridiculous. You also have on punch through hit, 10% damage for 10 seconds, stacks up to 10x. That one's good. It'd be really good if it is its own separate multiplier. I'm assuming this adds on to your regular damage multiplier though, so it'll add my like 700 up to 800. Either way, I don't think this is great to take, but I mean, you're gonna do a lot of damage either way. So yeah, try it out if you want. This one is also good. On consecutive headshots, plus 30% headshot damage, and it stacks up to 4x. So if you're going more for a headshot build with this, headshotting them with the laser, killing those stronger enemies, yeah, it's also good. It's all up to what playstyle you feel like playing. In my opinion, the Devastation Cascade and like this kind of general lazy build is probably easiest for general gameplay. And you're going to kill the enemies anyway, so you saw it earlier when I was playing Revenant, how many enemies I, well, essentially killed no problem. But let's throw on Vauban so I can show off. This is the general build. It's a little more defensive, but that's okay because I'm not much of a Vauban player. And I'll show off the Onos, and you can see why I also think it's a really good weapon when you start adding on CC, because CC really makes this weapon shine. And I feel like with the small radius, the high damage of the radial and everything, that's kind of a proven point. So we'll throw on Steel Path, we'll go on Void Mod, we'll go on our merry way, do some damage, and then I will show you that this gun is amazing. I've only been using it for like a couple days, right? It just came out after all, but I still think it's a really good weapon. And I think a lot of people would generally agree on that. Like, it's really strong. It might not be the best, but it's still really strong. So, yeah. You can always just do this. Throw that right there. Go like that. You can do this. You can do that. And then you just go like this. I have the Onos out now. Since there's people going here, just try to shoot them in the head. There's a lot of enemies in general. So, it might be a better idea if I were to throw it here. Because this is a Vauban, right? Classic Vauban play right here. Classic Vauban. I'll throw down the Bastille, and then yeah. So you just hit a lucky shot, you get a headshot, and then you turn into Little Incarnon, and then, oh my god. So that's why I think it's just so freaking good with AoE CC. Something like a Vauban will clean house with an Onos. Like, oh my. I'm getting insane crit damage buffs off that. You're gonna see some really high crit hits. So if you don't like the Onos, I get it. I don't like some of the base ways to use it sometimes. I get it, man. But if you want really high damage, this is, oh my god, the Carousel of Death. You're seeing like insanely high crits, massive damage, casually just chucking millions out. You gotta remember to buff that out there. Remember to hit your multiple buffs so you don't die or anything. Remember to hit that. And then you do that again. The punch through and the explosion just hits everyone. You just see all of the damage. The annoying part is, of course, building the headshot when you're using a weapon like this with a CC setup like that. But you only need to get a lucky hit in once or twice, and then you're fully built. That's also why I take the headshot building. It just makes it a little easier, right? I can also just throw that down here. Do that, right? That'll armor strip them for a sec. And then I'll just go like this, right? Then it brings them back in, and now we're killing everyone yet again. So I'm kind of curious what you think about the Onos. Like, do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it a new main Incarnon weapon for you? Or are you just like, eh? Because it does a lot of damage overall. Casually hits millions here and there. I don't know if it's going to hit billions, but I don't really go for the most insane billion damage build. But those high million crits, hundreds of thousand crits, those will do you good justice and get a lot of damage in there, right? I know in the beginning I used Remnant, but, you know, CC is also king in a game like Warframe, so that's nice. You can also throw down just AoE damage when you're using so much CC, and it's great. Oh god. Try not to die. Yeah, so it's a good weapon. It's definitely a good weapon. It would benefit more from some more punch through, so it's not a terrible idea if you want to take some of that punch through. I'm not against the idea, I just don't think I need it. Oh my. Just having troubles not freaking dying here. But that's okay, that happens sometimes. So, good weapon, use it, love it, hate it. Let me know, but it's kind of obvious. It'll do damage, okay? It'll do damage. So, that's it for this bad boy. Let me know what you think, and sub, like, use Epic Games creator code Pupsker, and check out all the socials. I need 5,000 followers on Facebook to try to enable monetization, so I would appreciate it if anyone follows me there. Thank you. Cheers.